Hey everybody, Andy McNamara with you for a Sportsnet Fantasy Extra show. It's a Waiver Wire Monday, getting you ready for who you need to pick up for Week 9 in the National Football League. Teams on bye. There are some heavy hitters taking a seat. The Falcons, the Saints, the Rams, the Bengals, all on bye. So let's begin our waiver wire journey with the running back position and Kenyan Drake getting dealt ahead of the NFL trade deadline from the Dolphins to the Cardinals for a late round conditional pick. Why? Well, Chase Edmonds, who did a tremendous job filling in for David Johnson for Arizona a week ago, he hurt his hamstring. He's out. David Johnson still not 100%. So Kenyan Drake on a short week is going to be used early and often against a very tough San Francisco defense. However, they have given up 4 straight games of over 100 rushing yards, and we've seen in that offense, they're able to slot in different running backs, and they can produce fantasy-wise. So it is a smart play. He's owned in 57% of Yahoo leagues. So go get Kenyan Drake if he's available, not just for this week, but for upcoming. It's a nice flex play and a possible value on the DFS side as well. Now, the team that Drake left, the Miami Dolphins, Mark Walton gets a bump up to RB1 status. At least, well, we'll see how he does Monday night against the Steelers, but the coaching staff has been talking him up. He's available in 26% of Yahoo leagues. That's the ownership level for him, so he is widely available. You can grab him, and although the offensive line is not at all special with Miami, they are a terrible team. We know that, and Drake couldn't do anything behind that line. The coaching staff likes him, and at least he's going to get opportunity and touches. So try for Walton, try for Drake. Now we go to the tight end position. Now, I've been yelling at you guys for over a month now. The whole month of October, go get Darren Fells of the Houston Texans. Get Darren Fells, do it. Well, he's still only owned in 18% of Yahoo leagues. What has Darren Fells done in the month of October? All he's done is averaged 15 fantasy points in PPR formats and has had 4 touchdowns. He's being worked in consistently with the Texans offense. You've got to go get him. It is such a thin position group. Get Darren Fells, go do it. Put him in your DraftKings lineup. Put him in your league long. He is a TE1 to me. You got to have him. If you don't have one of the big dogs, which are very few, Darren Fells is a consistent rollout. Go get Fells. Now, another option, if Fells isn't there for some reason, you just don't want him, Dallas Goedert in that tight end tandem with the Philadelphia Eagles. He's the one to own now, not the overdrafted Zach Ertz, who's having a very down year. He out-touched Ertz against Buffalo. He has a touchdown in back-to-back games, still a little touchdown dependent, but Zach Ertz is somebody that if you drafted him, you're going to play him. But if you need tight end help, Carson Wentz is looking the way of Dallas Goedert much more often. So look at Goedert. He is going to be available. He's only owned in 20% of Yahoo leagues. So that's somebody you can just snap right up. And in DFS contests too, he's going to be a value. And he's 2 weeks in a row, he's been producing. Carson Wentz likes him. Now, on the wide receiver side, how about the reemergence, the rising like a fantasy phoenix, Danny Amendola, little Danny Amendola, with the Detroit Lions owned in just 9% of Yahoo leagues. Okay, Danny Amendola looked like he was gone, chucked aside, but Matt Stafford is showing there is enough ball to go around. And you look over the past 2 games, 19 targets, 16 catches, and 105 and 95 receiving yards overall. In PPR formats, he's becoming a must-add, at least over these 2 weeks. Is it a blip? Is it a mirage? Maybe. But for Danny Amendola, standard, you throw him out. You always have. But for PPR purposes, Danny Amendola, you have to really take a look, especially if Marvin Jones isn't there or Kenny Golladay. Well, Kenny Golladay is definitely not there in your leagues. Take a peek at Danny Amendola. He's getting the eye of Matt Stafford again, and if he keeps putting up those numbers, those short little passes to open up the deep ball, Amendola is someone you really want to take a look at if you need some wide receiver depth. Now, on the defensive side, on the DST, if you had any hopes and aspirations that the Houston Texans defense would come back, would reemerge, you can throw those out the window. J.J. Watt out for the year again with a torn pectoral. So J.J. Watt's gone, as is the hopes of the Houston Texans defense. So if you have him, drop him, stream somebody else, and go it that way. For any fantasy football questions, hit me up on Twitter at AndyMC81. Use hashtag AskAndy, and make sure you check out the Fantasy Show across the Sportsnet Radio Network every Sunday morning.